I'm Anoushka. I'm a criminal lawyer in London. At the moment, I work at a solicitors firm as what's called a paralegal. It's a little bit like being an intern. And in the new year, I'll be leaving to start my pupillage, which is a year-long training to become a barrister. Barristers are the people that lawyers, solicitors go to if they need somebody to stand up in court and make important representations before a judge. In the criminal court, that will be in any case where criminal conduct is being alleged, but you have barristers who work in really niche areas of civil law, around wills and probate, about family issues. It could be about property or commercial contracts. So there's a huge variety there. But I'm a criminal pupil to be, and I've always been interested in criminal law. So for me, the work that I do is in financial crime at the moment. So I'm working with some big numbers, frauds that are up to £6 million worth of defrauded money. I work with clients who've been accused of making X many millions through drugs operations, or clients who have had their cash seized by the police because the police are saying it's connected to money laundering or other illegitimate activities. What I do a lot of the time in my job is look at the numbers, look at the evidence, review it and think long and hard about what that means for my client and what that means for our case strategy. Those analytical skills of being able to realise what's really important and what's not is a really core skill that any lawyer needs. As well as that, you need to have really good skills at drafting letters and witness statements and legal documents, because these can be binding and it's so important that you get them absolutely right. There's really no room for error, although of course it happens all the time and we're all human, but you've got to be aiming for sort of 100% perfect in your grammar and your spelling and exactly what the client has instructed you to say. That's super important. As a barrister, I also get the fun job of doing a lot of advocacy. So I'll be in court, in front of judges, persuading jurors of what my case is. And I'm going to really enjoy that because that's the kind of skills and the kind of career that I've chosen. And I've always enjoyed debating and public speaking. For those who prefer more sort of academic thinking and being really precise and having really clever arguments, but perhaps the idea of standing up in court isn't for you, then that doesn't mean you can't be a lawyer, but perhaps not a criminal barrister. So still think about it if you like creating arguments or breaking arguments down and coming up with sometimes really creative solutions to all sorts of different real life problems. The journey to getting to law for me was that I chose not to do a law degree. I knew that it would be quite a tough, reading intense 3 years to do law, and that it would be quite theoretical. And I thought that would be a bit too much, so I decided to do a criminology degree that was certainly a lot more fun, followed by a 1 year, very intense conversion course where they essentially cram in a 3-year law degree into about 9 months. But it's also very practical focused. Criminology was an excellent degree for me. It wasn't the criminal psychology degree I thought it might have been when I signed up, but actually the societal issues that came up through studying criminology for me were fascinating. We looked at gender issues, we looked at other kind of inequalities, be they on a racial basis. There are obviously class structures that we looked at. We looked a lot at policy making, which is really important to the law, which I knew I wanted to do. And that included looking at drugs, looking at cybercrime, and how it all fits together and comes together as a criminal justice system. I can really see in the future that a big part of criminology will be looking at that criminal justice system and how it's not treating everybody fairly and that there are big inequalities to be looked at. And those are important societal issues that I think you really get the opportunity to dig into in a 3-year degree, instead of just studying the kind of the hard and fast law as it is, without exploring those really crucial elements that form where we come to be in the law as it is anyway. I certainly chose law because I like debate, as I said, at school. And for me, it's a really friendly and people interactive career. I've met people from all walks of life. And for me, that's created a really rewarding career, working with people who sometimes have incredible stories. Some people have been through real hardship, but you're certainly working with really real people